I ended up moving in with my grandpa and caretaking for him in exchange for rent, so living there. And I was like, okay, like this is good. Now I have a place to live, like, but I need to figure out some way to like make money. And throughout quarantine, like something that really like got me through was just taking care of my plants and like tending to them, and like it just really brought a lot of like happiness into my life. And I was like, man, like I really like that. Like I know that other people are really excited about plants right now. Like maybe I could just like sell some cuttings of my plants online and like, I don't know, make other people happy in this way. Like people should be stoked about this. Like this is a really good thing. Like it's healing for people.
The plants?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like
damn.
It just makes life better, you know?
Okay.
For me at least. So yeah, I ended up like listing a couple different small plants and cuttings that I had taken from my plants on Facebook Marketplace, and took some like really nice photos of them and like gave them good descriptions. And I ended up getting about like 800 or 900 messages on the plants in about a month.
What?
Yeah.
So you're getting dozens a day?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it like absolutely blew up.
Who's messaging you? Like people from
like,
this area?
Yeah. Like
from Slows?
Hundreds of people.
Hundreds?
Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, like this is really something. People are really fucking excited about plants.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. And like people would be hitting me up like asking about like advice for their plants and like all sorts of stuff like that. I'm like, okay, like maybe I should just like start an Instagram, and like at least then I can direct people to that and like post stuff about plant tips and like funny plant memes and stuff like that, and like post some stuff that's for sale on there.
Are there plant memes?
Oh
my
I'll
God.
show you some plant memes, dude. I fucking love plant memes. So yeah, that's when I started Monstera Mama, which is my Instagram page. And it just like really took off. I started, selling off of the Instagram page as well as Facebook. And then kind of doing like by appointment shopping for people. And then eventually I was going to do a pop-up sale with another plant person locally, but that kind of fell through. And like I ended up walking into this vintage store one day when I was feeling kind of like bummed out. And I was like, man, like what is this place? This is so cool. And I was talking to the owner, his name's Malik. And he saw that I had clippers on my belt, and he was like, man, like, what are those? I was like...
You had clippers on your belt?
Yeah, I have a clipper holster for like my plant clippers that I have on a lot of the time.
Jeez.
Yeah, so he commented on that, and I was like, oh yeah, like I own a small nursery, we're just starting out. He's like, do you want to like ever have a pop-up here? Like, we'd be super stoked to have you. And it just like totally took off. So I've now had 3 different pop-ups at that location, and we've been like consistently selling out of plants, which has been really cool.
Dude, good for you, bro.
Yeah.
What the hell? How does this all happen? Like you met him through this one experience.
Yeah.
Dude, it might have been a blessing in disguise, you breaking your neck.
That's what I think.
You know what I mean? Because if you still had the Olive Garden job, all this pop-up and the plants,
it wouldn't happen.
Maybe it would have happened.
Yeah.
How many people are coming to these? And it's in downtown Slough?
Yeah, so it's at this vintage shop, A Satellite of Love. But we do it at multiple different venues, or will be in the future. We've just done there so far. But yeah, it's downtown Slough, kind of by, where the Sub used to be?
No. How do you guys have your like inventory? Like how does that work? I've been to your house, I've been inside your garage. Are they all just stored in there?
So, at the moment, our system is not super organized. We're kind of working on it, kind of a work in progress, but, I do a lot of what's called propagation, where you take cuttings from plants kind of strategically so that you make sure you have a node, and then you root them in soil or water or what's called sphagnum moss or peat moss, and they root in that mixture and then become plants themselves rather than just like little cuttings. So I do a lot of that, and then I also go on sourcing trips to like LA, SF, Santa Cruz, wherever. Or we'll occasionally like order larger plants online that are kind of more difficult to find so that I can like cut them up and like make more plants from them. But yeah, so right now I'm kind of trying to sell through some of my inventory before I leave for my trip. But after that, I have a bunch of propagations going, so I'll have a bunch of plants ready when I get back. And then I'll be doing some like larger sourcing trips to wholesale nurseries.
How are they then get watered?
While I'm gone?
Yeah.
So basically I'm setting it up so that all of my propagations are in what's called like a terrarium setup. So I have them in propagation boxes.
Yeah.
In sphagnum moss or like peat moss. And it stays pretty moist and humid in there because you have like a vessel of water in the corner and then you have holes poked in the top. So it's like sealed, but it stays like really humid. So you don't really have to water them that frequently. So that's what I'm doing for my propagations. And then I'm trying to sell through like the bulk of my plants that aren't my personal plants before I leave that are going to need a lot of watering. Anything that I don't sell through or any of my personal plants, my mom's going to take care of while I'm gone.
Damn. Okay. Is it like, do you have like what are customers saying to you when they come in? Are they like trying to figure out who you are and like what this pop-up is and like how's that side of things, like more of the business side of things? Like,
it's been really cool. People have been like super excited about it. I have like quite a few customers that have come to every one of my pop-ups and like we like chat back and forth online like very consistently, and that's a really cool thing. And they are just like huge supporters of what I'm doing, so that's really awesome. And like, yeah, I've also had people kind of come up to my booth and been like, oh my gosh, like I've been wanting to come see Monstera Mama forever, like I'm so glad I finally made it, like shit like that, which is cool.
Do they know you're Monstera Mama?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Dude, you look like Monstera Mama. You really do.
Thank you.
Dude, what the hell, Alaya? You're the Monstera Mama.
I am.
Have they been talking about you a lot?
Yeah.
Really? You can just tell her they've told you?
You know, it's a really small town, and as weird as it sounds, plant stuff gets a little bit controversial. People get salty around here and territorial. Yeah.
They said, girl, back the fuck out.
Pretty much. There's some people around here that don't want me doing what I'm doing.
What's their reasoning?
You know, how do I say this? So there are some nurseries that, you know, have been established around here for a long time and think that if people who are new are selling plants, like it's going to take customers away from them. You know, so they're just like not stoked that there's more competition out there. And I don't know, I don't really see myself as competition at this point because my situation is like, it's so small right now, but I see kind of why they might be threatened because we're moving in a direction where like, we're gonna have a website and I eventually want to have a storefront. So I see why they're frustrated that there's, you know, other plant people around here now.
When would the storefront be? Like years away?